Are you planning to attend your marriage green card interview? Great. In this video, I'm going to give you 58 most common questions that are being asked at green card interviews these days by USCIS officers. We'll go over the different categories that you need to know to be successful in your green card marriage interview. Hello everybody and welcome back to Immigration Channel. This is where we explain complex immigration matters in short, simple videos. We make immigration easy. And in this video, I'm going to give you 58 of the most common questions asked at green card marriage interviews these days. And I'm going to break it down by different categories. We're going to talk about marriage-based questions specifically connected to the marriage. We're going to go over family history questions. We're going to go over immigration status questions. What is the current status of the applicant? And you'll see what kind of questions they ask in that category. We're going to talk about travel-related green card questions, residential history questions that they ask in those interviews, education-related questions, employment-related questions, even income tax-related questions, character-related questions, and criminal-related questions. All these questions are super important because that's what officers are asking every single day, and this video reveals it all. But before we do that, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos every single week, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. As always, if you need help with your immigration matter, send me a text 619-483-4549 or jump to www.immigrationasap.com, drop your information and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. So you went through the process of filing for your green card. You filed Form I-130, 485, all the supporting documents, you prepared your medical, everything is there, you did your biometrics, and finally the big day has arrived. Now, many of you might not have an interview at your first green card because they're waiving a lot of interviews, but you will have an interview on your second green card when you renew. And even if you don't have an interview in your second green card, you will have an interview when you apply for citizenship. At some point, they will question you about your marriage to find out if you are in a legitimate relationship, and some of these questions will appear in your interview as well. And so the way I have broken down this video is by different categories. We're going to go through each category. I'll do it very fast to give you all the information you need. So before your interview, you'll be able to watch this video, prepare, and be more confident when you appear at your green card interview. Now, immigration officers are not there to trick you, but they are also not your friends. They are there to find out if you're in a legitimate relationship and decide if you will get the green card after the interview. Therefore, it is important to prepare, to be relaxed, and understand what kind of questions you might be asked at this interview. And that's why I'm making this video. So let's jump right into it. Every green card immigration interview is different. Officers have different styles, and they do things differently depending on where you are in the country. But some of these questions that we're going to go over now are very common, and most immigration officers will ask them at your green card interview. The way these interviews are being conducted are also very different. The purpose of this video is just to go over the green card questions and not explain to you the process of the green card interview. For that, we'll make another video. Now, let's jump into the questions. As I mentioned, I broke it down by sections. Section number 1, marriage-based green card questions. And the questions are as follows. When and where did you marry? Where did you meet your spouse? Where did you go on your first date? How long did you date? When did you realize that you were in love? Where, when, and how did you marry your spouse? How many people attended the wedding? Name a few common friends who attended the wedding. Who is your spouse's employer? What time does your spouse arrive home from work? What is your spouse's date of birth? What are the names of your mother and father-in-law? Where did you meet your in-laws, and how many times did you meet them? How many siblings does your spouse have, and what are their names? Do you spend holidays with your in-laws, and when was the last time you did that? Does your spouse have nieces or nephews, and what are their names? These are some of the most common questions that are being asked under the marriage-based categories. This is all connected with the marriage and the beginning of this relationship. This is all about the marriage and things that are connected with the marriage. And they will ask, All these questions or some of them. Now let's move family history green card questions. What are the names of your parents? What is your mother's maiden name? Have your parents ever visited the United States? Now let's go into questions more regarding your immigration status, which are definitely sometimes connected and combined with the previous questions I mentioned. Where were you born? What country's citizenship do you hold? What is your legal status in the United States? When did you come to the United States the last time? How did you come to the United States the last time? Have you ever worked in the United States? Have you ever violated the conditions of your visa? Now remember, one tip I can tell you here, if they ask you if you worked in the United States and you're going to say no, be careful, because if you're married into a U.S. citizen, you can say yes, even if you work without authorization. It's better to say that than lie and you say that you didn't work. If they catch you in a lie, it will be an offense, a violation, also misrepresentation. It's okay to say that you worked without authorization because it will be waived with your spouse's immigration status because your spouse is a U.S. citizen. So remember that tip. Now we're moving to travel-related questions. Have you ever traveled to any foreign countries while living in the United States? When and where did you travel to? What was the reason of your last trip? How long were you outside of the United States? Have you traveled with your spouse or by yourself? Did you have any issues with the Customs and Border Protection when you entered the United States? And again, these questions are designed to test you. If you did have any problems, they will know about it and they want to verify that you're telling the truth. Now we're moving to residential history questions. What is your current address? How long have you been at this address? Where did you live before? How many places have you lived over in the past 5 years? Have you ever moved and not notified the USCIS? Describe to me your place of residence. Is it an apartment or a house? How many bedrooms, etc. Now we're moving to education-related questions. The reason they're asking you about the residence, they want to make sure that you're very comfortable about where you live, and also they're going to see your reaction to some of these questions. Depending on your reaction, they're going to go further. Moving to education-related questions. What is your highest level of education? Where did you receive your education? Moving to employment-related questions. What is your current job? Who is your employer and what is their address? What is your current salary? And this brings us to income tax-related questions. Do you file your tax returns? Did you bring your tax returns with you? Do you owe IRS any unpaid taxes? Do you file your taxes with your spouse jointly? Have you ever failed to pay your taxes? Moving to character-related questions. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Do you belong to any organizations? If so, let us know what they are. Have you ever supported banned or terrorist organizations? And finally, criminal record question. Do you have a criminal record? Have you ever been arrested? Did you serve on probation or suspended sentence? Do you have parking tickets? Have you ever had a DUI or any drug offenses? Do you have any domestic violence complaints against you? So these are the common areas and the questions that you'll be asked. For example, some officers may dive deeper on the family side. They'll go down and ask more questions about family, depending on how you answer. Some officers will dive deep on the residence if you don't have clear and concise answers about where you live. But majority of them will go around the questions I just shared with you now. Study those questions, go over the forms before your interview, stay calm and relaxed, and you will be just fine. If you have any questions about what I just mentioned in this video, please let me know in the comments. And of course, good luck in your green card interview. If you need help with your immigration matters or have any issues with your case, send me a text 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Drop your information and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Thanks for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.